Welcome back to Comics Experiment. My name is Benny, that is Dan, and that is Andy. And Dan is now going to panic that he didn't press record on things properly.
I hate you so much.
Why you I didn't even say it this time.
But
I know, but it's I'm used to it. Sorry.
This is the show where we get together every other week to talk about stuff going on in the world of comic books. For this week, we've reached out to you to ask your questions about Spider-Man and SpiderBoy and how they incorporate themselves into the history of the various superheroes and basically what's going on with them. Today's episode is brought to you by
Us? I don't know. You caught me off guard.
Are you okay?
I think you're
Gamer
just like
subs.
staring at him.
Do you want to go check the audio?
I hate you both so much.
I didn't do it.
I know, but you're here.
That's fair.
We're brought to you by GamerSubs. Use code comics at checkout or into the AM. Use code absolutely at checkout. I almost said we're brought to you by absolutely. Use code into the AM.
There you go.
Wow.
That'll be
Dan, is the
confusing.
camera working?
I hate you.
Are you just
both
gonna do this
so
like 4
much.
times?
I'm waiting for him to
you,
get up.
You only do it like once.
No,
is
no,
the
I got it.
joke.
I
You
just
don't
wanna-
just
I'm
keep
asking him.
doing
I'm
it.
just
I
making
know.
sure.
The multiple times you're doing it makes me go, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah,
It's
see,
the-
you're not good at
you
that
gotta
joke.
drop it
And then leave it.
and then
Okay.
leave it. Let
Yeah.
me dwell.
This is why people try to be me. It doesn't work.
I'm not even trying to be you. I just want to get him to get up. That's all. We have
Yep,
an entire
you're
video.
trying
where
to
he messed
want
it
me
up.
to go check it?
No, it's fine. I just don't want to. I don't want to. If we do 10 minutes of this,
God.
something's that.
People try to be me, but they can't be me.
All right, we're good.
Only
All right.
one.
So the first question, we'll answer this one. Andy, I'd like you to explain your version of the story and how it happened since you just wrote the script up for us. Who the fack is SpiderBoy? Also, if you use this, I hope you quote me verbatim from Ginger Prime.
Who the FAQ? Well, the frequently asked questions about SpiderBoy are who the fact is SpiderBoy?
SpiderBoy is apparently the longtime teenage sidekick of both Spider-Man, Peter Spider-Man. They got to really change the. It's very hard to write a script like this as
It's
well.
Kid
by the way.
Arachnid for Miles. That's the differentiating.
Is that what they're calling him?
That's what they tried to call
He
him
was.
for
It
a
was.
little
A
period.
couple toys came out. They made her Ghost Spider and him Kid Arachnid.
That's an awful name.
It was.
Yeah.
terrible.
All right. Anyway, he's supposedly the longtime teenage sidekick of both Peter and Miles.
Yeah, I love that he's Miles' sidekick as well.
both. Yeah.
I just like that because it's like long term, relatively speaking, to the 0 other sidekicks that they have had.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of questions about SpiderBoy and Spider-Man, and we'll go to those. But I want to comment because Dan, you live on Reddit.
I do.
It's like your thing. Have you seen the Marvel
I've
Reddit
actually
subreddit?
never heard of Reddit.
No?
Yeah.
Oh.
You live on it. I've never heard it.
Exactly. It's perfect.
It's
We
where-
average out
It's where
to a
you've
normal
read
person.
it.
Oh, I get it.
The Marvel subreddit has been having and Spider-Man subreddits have been having a field day. They've been editing Spider-Boy into classic comics.
Oh, I actually haven't seen this.
I haven't either. Yeah.
Like my favorite
He
one
was
so
telling me,
far
yeah.
was Gwen Stacy's Fall.
Oh,
And
God.
Spider-Man and Spider-Boy are at the top, and Spider-Boy's like, Spider-Man, just use your webbing and catch your ankle. It'll go great. And Spider-Man's like, great idea, Spider-Boy.
Spider-Boy doesn't know how physics work
They put it, I saw
or
one today,
gravity. I guess.
where Huey from The Boys,
Uh-huh.
they swapped out the Spider Slinger character for Spider-Boy.
Spider Slinger character? I don't remember that.
I guess there was
character.
like a
Oh,
web-
in the actual comic.
Yeah, in the comic.
Oh, okay,
So he's
yeah.
beating up Spider-Boy
I like it.
as like his death.
God.
That's pretty good, actually.
They took old screenshots of Tom Holland with that kid who was in the cosplay for Spider-Man. And they're like, oh man, I can't believe they cast him for Spider-Boy already.
That's what Tom Holland needs is a teenage sidekick.
Yeah.
This is true. It would work.
So he's been popping up everywhere in general.
Not on purpose.
Just, everyone's
But
having
it
a
has
field
been
day,
happening, yeah.
writing him into everything.
I like it.
He's a part
Alright.
of every major moment in Spider-Man's life, which
I
is
like
the
it.
funniest part.
I would say Civil War. He's probably behind Peter going, just reveal your identity. It won't end badly.
My favorite is because the internet is having a field day also hating on Paul from the Amazing Spider-Man run. Because Paul's married to-
MJ's
yeah.
boyfriend.
Oh,
yeah,
boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like,
That run
what you
is
guys
not
don't
good.
realize.
I fell so hard off of that.
Yeah.
They're explaining it now.
I know, and
it's not-
it's not good. I saw.
On a side note with that, I do find it funny the amount of people that are hating on it, and I don't think it's that great a run at all.
Took
But
too
what I
long.
always find funny is the people that are like, well, the reason it's not good is Peter's acting out of character. And I always
Okay.
just think, I'm like, you don't know what Peter's supposed to act like when he's been around for 80 years with like 20.
Well, that's the problem.
Writers.
Yeah,
Like he's had a
it's
attitude.
all over the place.
Yeah. So what is his definitive personality? Right now, it's whatever Zeb Wells wants to make it. So if he doesn't want to take 2 seconds and explain himself to Captain America, Zeb Wells is just writing a Peter Parker that you don't like that much.
See, I feel like he should have just spread this out since the run started. He took too long to get to what happened.
Point.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the problem with the run. I don't like Peter is acting out of character at times, which I think is weird the way he's doing it. Out of character, because for me, my perfect one was Dan Slott's run. I liked that growth of Peter and the way he acted. So this is acting out of character from that.
The best Spider-Man, the superior Spider-Man, obviously.
Yeah,
It's Otto. Everybody knows that.
But I do agree with that. This big mystery isn't even resolving in the best of ways. It's just something that you should have just opened the run with this.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then we moved forward where he's not with Mary Jane instead of leaving us wondering for 25 issues, and now we're finally
something
getting
like
to
that.
it.
I feel like also to tag on to the him acting out of character, and I can agree with that also because of the fact that the art does not make him look like the Peter Parker that I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's
him
what,
looking
John
like.
Romita Jr. Right?
I think so, yeah. And it's just very stylized, so it kind of makes you more aware that it's a different version in it. I can see.
Yeah. Like one of the big things in this run is that he keeps going to Norman Osborn for help, and everyone's like, "Why would he do that?" Because that's comic books, and Norman's good right now.
That is true.
Like that's literally all it is.
And if you pay attention, he's constantly like, "I don't like doing this, Norman."
Yeah.
But you've got money and resources, and I don't.
So I think overall, while this is a different portrayal of Spider-Man, I don't think it's the greatest. I don't think it's the worst. Like some people are really just because he's MJ's got a new boyfriend. I just don't think it's the best. I don't think like it's that middling kind of like it's a Spider-Man story.
Yeah.
But anyway, the internet also decided that Spider-Boy's real identity is Paul.
Spider-Boy aged super quick.
Well, no, what happens is when he pulls on the masks, he actually shrinks. It's a magical spider totem, mystic magic.
It's like reverse Shazam.
Yeah, exactly. When he says the magic word, he becomes a superpowered teenager.
Here's the big question.
He's actually a 40-year-old man.
I would love that if that was like an actual thing of some like
reverse Shazam.
Middle-aged guy.
No, it's like a 90-year-old man that when he speaks the magic word, he becomes in his 20s again.
With spider powers.
With spider powers.
Obviously.
So let's talk about that for a moment. Do you guys think, what do you think they're going to do with Spider-Boy? Do you think it's just going to be a quick gimmick, kind of like when they did the new suit at Nick Spencer's run, and that was like 3 issues, and they made a big deal out of that?
I mean, it's going to be, because it's in Dan Slott's run.
Yeah. So
I think it's going to be a main thing in Dan. He made the character. He's going to be using him.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be like Brian Michael Bendis being like, I made Miles, but we're not really going to use him very much.
I feel like they'll probably use him in the way that they kind of probably intended to use Miles when he came to the main universe of
the younger
we have a younger
stories.
sidekick as opposed to when he did come over and everyone's like, yay, Spider-Man. And they're like, oh, that's right. We can't really change him too much. So
can't make him a sidekick at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what they're going to use it as,
Okay.
Probably, I mean, I could see them doing like a Robin-style book with Spider-Boy.
Yeah.
You know, the younger adventures, so you have that
Bailey
younger...
on his own.
Yeah, exactly. You have that younger Spider-Man, which is what Spider-Man originally was, versus having him as a grown adult.
Yeah. Edge of Spider-Verse
Or
number
Miles
3.
kind of in the middle area.
Edge of Spider-Verse number 3 is going to be the what
His
happened to him.
actual origin.
Yeah, and why he got removed from continuity.
He got stabbed.
He got lost in the Speed Force.
I would love
The web of destiny.
Oh,
I've been trapped in the web of destiny for so long.
Okay, you just read that, and I've read that.
Yes, I did.
Okay, it's the end of the Spider-Verse, right?
No, it's not.
They've already announced the continuation.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, it's not. Because all of those spiders are still out there.
The web of destiny is out there.
They're not just going to be like, yeah, we're not going to use that. I mean, they may not bring Peter back into it. 616 Peter.
Well, didn't they make Silk the main?
chosen one?
Give her a purpose finally?
Next, it's going to be the Silkverse. That's why it's the end of the Spider-Verse.
Ah,
so
we're
that they can
renaming it. Yeah,
officially
yeah.
Well,
swap
she's got a
over.
movie coming out soon. She's in that
Does
one
she?
with she's in Madam Web.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know she was in that.
Apparently she's in it.
I can see
And
it.
then I think they were talking about a Sony-led TV show featuring Silk.
I honestly could see that
I could
working.
see that, actually. Yeah.
Because her stories very much work with like a TV show format.
Yeah.
They're often her working at the newspaper and
Right,
having
yeah.
to deal with basically another version of Peter.
So this is going to be Supergirl year 1?
Yes, exactly.
with spider powers.
Do you think they'll get
and
Ally McBeal back again?
pheromones with like her?
No, we've gotten
Peter.
rid of that, and Dan Slott admitted it was a weird decision.
It's very weird, Dan.
Yeah. And hot.
There's that one hand where you're like, why
This
is
is
this
just
weird?
odd, but on the other hand, it ain't bad. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Questions from the audience about what they want to know about Spider-Man for us to answer.
Okay.
Who truly is the better Spider-Man, 616, Peter, Miles, or some other version? And Captain Universe doesn't count. They said that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when he had. I mean, technically, that was still Peter.
Yeah.
In
so we're
the
gonna
main
ignore
or
that.
Miles,
That's from
depending on
NBT.
which one
Miles.
we're talking
That's right,
about.
Yeah.
What is the best, like,
I would say
best
Superior. I would agree with you on that.
version of Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No, Otto wasn't really the best Spider-Man.
In
think-
his name, he was the superior.
It's right
Spider-Man.
there. No, but at the end of the run, he admits that Peter is the superior Spider-Man. Boom, bitch. I mean, I guess if you're looking at if you're looking at like the main 616 universe, who is currently in it, who is the better Spider-Man? I guess it would probably be Miles, honestly.
I would say Miles.
If you base off of the recent how Peter reacts to everything, probably Miles.
I would say if we're basing it off of them and not their stories,
You're right, yes.
I would say Miles because he literally is Spider-Man who can also Venom Blast and go invisible.
He has extra powers too. Yeah. Now,
Like-
my favorite version of Spider-Man would be Chip Zdarsky's version of Spider-Man.
I wish he
From
wrote
Life
him
Story.
longer. He didn't write him very long.
Well, no, it was only 6 issues for the decade.
Didn't he do it? I thought he did a spin-off too.
I think he
was
did
like-
a what if where he was Venom for
Yeah.
a longer period.
Dark
of
Shadow
time.
or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
Dark Shadow.
And then there was another. He did. Swear he did a brief like 7-issue run. It was like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man or something.
Something
like
like that,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
But I
that
mean, Peter's also an amazing Spider-Man. Huh?
Ah.
But it depends on the era.
Oh, yeah.
of Spider-Man.
that. I mean, there's eras where he's with the Avengers. He's got money. He's successful.
like when he was Parker Industries Spider-Man, he was solid.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot
that
of good
one.
stuff. Yeah.
I'll be honest,
I'd
like,
never-
But that was
everyone
too much
hates that
character
one.
growth. Honestly, you got to get rid of that.
It
You
definitely
can't have
was.
people growing and like learning.
Once
no,
it-
no, no.
That's actually one of those character moments that made no sense when he built everything and he's like, all right, I beat the villain. I'll burn it all down.
And then I'll go be roommates with Boomerang.
Okay,
And
actually,
complain. That was a lot of
that
fun.
was-
That was a lot of
I
fun.
really enjoyed that.
But the point is, all of that character growth then went away.
Yeah.
which was the same with Boomerang.
That is true.
They gave him
That
so
is a good
much
point,
good
yeah.
character
Wait, didn't he
growth, and
die?
then
No,
like
at the end, he just
he's like,
betrays
I was
Peter.
a douche all along.
But then he kind of feels like maybe he wasn't a douche all along.
I just want to know what happened to their pet, Gog.
Oh, Gog.
yeah,
yeah,
Mini
yeah,
Gog.
yeah, Mini Gog, yeah.
remember what they did with him.
But yeah, it really comes down to the best era because if we're
Yeah,
just gonna
that's
limit
what
it
it
to
really
Peter, because Miles has got more powers. He's definitely better.
No.
It's even superior if we're looking at the capabilities. Superior had better capabilities between the suits and
spider bots.
spider bots controlling the city for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just depends on the era.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The next question from Aizen Sosake.
Aizen Sosuke.
Sosuke.
It's from Bleach.
Sure.
What's the best way for a new and casual Marvel fan to properly get into Spider-Man comics in 2023? See,
Don't. No.
so
Run away.
I will say the problem with Zeb Wells' run is basically Zeb Wells' run requires knowledge of previous Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, even just his previous Spider-Man Beyond stuff, you kind of need to be able to know what happened there, which
Right.
requires knowledge of Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
I would say getting into it in 2023 is go back and read the well-reviewed and well-liked storylines. Because at the end
yeah.
of the day, what he is now doesn't really matter.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The Dan Slott run has some big hits you could move through
Yeah.
without even doing the in-betweens because you could start with Big Time if you can get your hands on it because it's really hard to find.
Well,
But-
unless you just get it on Comixology.
Well, yeah,
then it's
Comixology.
super easy, except for the search algorithm isn't great.
It's easy to buy, not easy to find.
But yeah, no, like Big Time's great. Spider Island's a great run.
Yeah.
Even the original Spider-Verse is a great
Yeah,
run.
the
All of
original
them.
Clone Saga.
Spider-Verse.
Always start with the Clone Saga.
And
From
then
the
one more
90s.
day.
Actually, I have just recently started reading the Ultimate Spider-Man run because I've never read past the first 2 volumes. So I was like, oh, I'm going to read the rest of them. And I really like that run. The problem is it is wildly 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you're not from the 2000s,
why I don't
you're going to be
recommend
like,
it
what
anymore."
the hell?
Right.
That's why I don't recommend it anymore. At this
Just
point.
like the way people talk, everyone's mannerisms, obviously the pop culture references and stuff, wildly 2000s.
But yeah, that's why I don't recommend that, because that's a great line. Ultimate
Yeah,
Spider-Man
yeah.
1 through 100 will give you a good idea.
The problem is it will, because everybody's like, it's so dated. But yeah, but if you go back to the 90s, that's very much 90s. If you go back to the 80s, it's very much
comic
80s.
books have always reflected what's going on in the real
yeah,
world.
it's just
Yeah.
how it is.
So-
yeah.
That's why I always hate the argument of, oh, it's going woke. It's like, no, it's just keeping up with what's relevant right now.
Yeah. You might not enjoy what's relevant, but that is
Exactly.
what's popping off
I
on
don't
everything.
enjoy
No
what's
one
relevant.
enjoys what's
Oh, I
relevant.
hate
never
everything that's
enjoy it,
relevant.
yeah,
I just go hide. Anyway,
He's got a little hidey hole back there.
I got a hidey hole under the stairs.
It's tinfoil lined.
With a katana. Get away from me, relevancy. Yes.
I lost track. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, because even Nick Spencer's run ties into the whole Norman Osborn
Yep.
and Gwen Stacy. Like,
Yeah, that was
right now, a lot of stuff in Spider-Man ties into previous stuff of Spider-Man. So your best bet's going to be reading a lot of the runs from like Dan Slott's run and a lot of the big stories from that era.
Honestly, Life Story would probably
Life Story's
be a
good.
one.
Yeah, Life Story's really solid. I really like Life Story.
Spider-Man's in a weird spot though, because there's just so much going on, and every time they try to give you a fresh start, like, what was
It's
the?
not really a fresh
there's
start.
not,
No,
yeah.
it really is.
Because like you could be like, oh, Dan Slott just started classic Spider-Man #1 again. Yeah, but it's
But it
more-
all ties into what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And what happened in his run.
Yeah.
So now
And
you
then
got two different runs. You got to try to figure out what the hell's going on.
And then every time that they try to do a spin-off series, what was that one they had recently? It was like Fast Spider-Man or Quick and Deadly Spider-Man.
Deadly Neighborhood.
No, that
Spider-Man?
one's different. There was a run that they
Now
tried
there's
to
a
do.
Spider-Man for you.
Non-stop Spider-Man.
That was it. That's what I'm thinking
Look, a
of.
mugger.
Non-stop
I'm
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Non-stop Spider-Man.
Don't
was,
worry, the bullet is condensed webbing.
It'll expand inside of you.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
See, that's something Superior Spider-Man would do.
Tearing apart my rib cage.
But Non-Stop Spider-Man was an attempt to create Spider-Man stories that didn't rely on current continuity. They were their own continuity, and then they just canceled that one.
Yeah.
You see, I think the biggest problem with Spider-Man is it's very similar to Batman, where there's always multiple Spider-Man stories going on.
Yeah, yeah. And it just
they
gets confusing.
And they have very similar names. That was a great example of
Non-Stop.
the fact that you can't really
Deadly
remember
Neighborhood.
them. And it just becomes a situation, oh, go read Spider-Man. Which one? Because some of them relate, some of them don't. Some
guess
of them
the-
their own thing. And
I guess if you don't want to go back to because we didn't give an official answer other than go check out some of the classics.
Yeah.
That was the answer.
You can jump on Amazing Spider-Man #1. Just be aware it's going to be referencing some stuff from the past of Spider-Man. But Zeb Wells' run is pretty straightforward as long as you are aware nobody likes Paul. Mary Jane's not with Spider-Man. And if you were ever a fan of Ben Reilly, don't. So
Shame on you.
next question is from Zach. Dan, can you pronounce that correctly?
I believe that's Zach K.
So basically, they skip Miles Morales. So in New York, these two Spider-Men and Spider-Boy and have some Spider-Man family. Not a question. Thanks, Zach.
That's just a statement. There's not even a question mark.
I
on the
don't
end.
even understand this statement.
I was drunk while typing it.
Okay, this one's cool. The Dude Lebowski too. That's his full name.
Nice.
In a universe that Spider-Man is the arch nemesis of the Avengers, how would he take them out, or how would that play out? So he's the villain.
Why would Spider-Man be the
Didn't they do that in the
arch-nemesis
Dark
of
Multiverse version that they tried to do with the Darkhold universes?
I don't think so.
Pretty sure Spider-Man ran himself ragged until he used Reed stretched out to connect everything.
I don't know, but I feel like if Spider-Man really just went unhinged, he could very easily take out majority of the Avengers. Because I feel like if he went deadly with things, we've seen the capabilities that Superior Spider-Man has shown us, as well as other versions of Spider-Man. And I feel like and this honestly applies to 90% of the high-powered heroes, is if they lose their morality, they become very deadly.
Right, yeah.
Like they become
Like a deadly neighborhood
Ah,
Spider-Man?
don't do that.
Okay.
I honestly, I
Not
think
funny.
Spider's Shadow would be a good
Yeah,
example
yeah,
of that, where he
Didn't
like
he beat everyone?
yes,
Yeah.
I believe that one he keeps the Venom symbiote.
Yeah, that's the what if
and
one.
it
yeah.
like turns him crazy and stuff. Because honestly, if he decided to take them out, he would get the Venom symbiote back.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah. Give me
probably
this, Eddie.
Carnage too. And like I just feel like he could very easily take him out.
I think there's been a lot of stories where he turned on them. I'm surprised Marvel hasn't leaned more into that because DC loves to tell a evil Batman story yearly.
Yes.
Spider-Man kills the Marvel Universe.
Why have they
But
not
he's
done
just
that?
joking the whole time.
So Deadpool killed the Marvel Universe?
No, because he got really serious in that one because he was like
Yeah.
aware of like that he was in a
Well, yeah,
comic
'cause
book and it was no
they-
longer funny.
Didn't they kill the funny voice in his
Yeah,
head
I
at
think
the
that's
start
what it
of
was.
the-
Yeah.
But no, he could definitely take all of them.
I
I mean, we've seen, let's be honest, especially in the movies, we saw him stop a flying car, grab Cap's shield,
Right.
and very easily grab Bucky's arm as he's punching with
That's true.
He has proven how strong he can be,
Yeah.
and
But then Captain
webbing
America
is
kicked him really hard.
like really hard.
like really hard.
PD asks what's our opinion on the current creative team. I think we've already expressed that, the current situation of Spider-Man. I don't think it's terrible, but I have much more preferred runs. Mine's Dan Slott's. Is that what's
Yours is the Clone Saga.
No,
You're always talking
not
about
at
it.
all.
90s Spider-Man. and
90s
X-Men.
Spider-Man.
You like 90s
obviously,
Spider-Man?
No, I was
Same as,
actually
like,
a big
Todd
fan of
McFarlane's
Parker
writing.
Industries. I know so many people dislike that one, but I actually really enjoyed
Parker
it.
Industries. Yeah, it was Dan Slott's runs, right?
Yeah,
Because I
it
felt
was-
Dan Slott's run was an evolution that ended with him.
Felt
Yeah, it was also like 10 years.
exactly
So,
like
yeah,
it felt like progress and actual change and evolution and like what you would expect Peter to do because they're constantly like, oh, he's the smartest guy, like he's super smart, but we're gonna do nothing with that, and we're gonna
He's
make
gonna be
him
just
act
like a
stupid.
schlub
Like,
the whole time.
yeah.
He doesn't even know how to make $5 to get a pizza.
He keeps burning ramen noodles.
It's like I can't make food, but let me make a wedding.
I burned it again, MJ.
No, I keep doing this.
Morio. Did I get that right?
It's
Murio.
Murio.
It's Murio.
Murio. Why did they make a new Spider character in the 616? They already have too many. Most characters don't get to do much.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I say that all the time.
hope
It's the
they're-
same with the Bat family. There's just too many of them.
Oh, yeah. I think that I do hope they do something with SpiderBoy and he doesn't just get regulated to everyone that was on that rooftop when Spider-Man
Yeah.
left.
Because technically, Silk is still running around. We don't see her very often. Scarlet Spider is still running around. Ben Reilly's now Chasm or Chasm.
He's
or
in limbo,
whatever the fuck.
Andy.
Trapped in limbo though, so he's
How low can he go? Anyway,
bench warmer right now.
Yeah, so it's like, there's just so many spider people around.
We need a battle for the web where they all just have to fight and kill each other.
Everybody doesn't get to use the spider name no more.
Exactly. That looks pretty good.
Well, actually, they did that temporarily during the Spider-Man Beyond arc where they're like, well, we trademarked Spider-Man. So
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
they chased Miles down.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they didn't
yeah.
actually fight though. They were like, you didn't beat him up. He's like, he's a kid. What am I gonna beat him up for? I told him to stop it. There's not much more I can do.
Rayumbo asks, why can't main comics Peter and MJ be together? We see Flash with Linda, Superman with Lois. They both have children.
Because it was deemed in the early 2000s. I believe it was the early 2000s.
Yeah, one more day.
When they Marvel editors deemed that readers did not want to see a happy Peter Parker.
I thought it was also tied into they wanted to line it up with all the movie portrayals.
I mean, that possibly was part of it.
which kept him at
But
that
the
high
big,
school.
it's
college.
the same reason Lois and Clark weren't married for the longest time.
Yeah.
They were like, readers don't want to see them married. And I think as time has gone on, that's not true.
Yeah.
But
well,
for whatever reason, the editors
like
and
Wally
writers
with
won't
Linda.
go back on
Right.
it. They're like, no, we did it. We're not doing it.
Wally, they did it weird, though, when they
Yeah.
brought back Linda. 'cause
Everything they've done with Wally has been weird.
They brought back Wally, and then they just made him like an awkward stalker.
Yeah, I know.
I was like,
Everything they've done with Wally.
Wally,
They
where'd
had
you
him
go?
kill a bunch of heroes, became a blue god, and
was
DC got an editor, and apparently every Wally West writer hated Wally.
it was funny because it'd be like, Wally, where'd you go? Well, I had to go check on Linda. You're not married to her.
Yeah, but she has a new bedroom set, and it looks really nice from the bushes. All right?
I do like that they at least got him back. with Linda.
lightning rod, Linda.
We have kids.
Well, I mean, we don't have kids, but we had kids in another reality. It's a whole thing. I'm going to go.
Honestly,
Yeah, I don't know why everybody hates Wally so much. Honestly, don't get
I
it.
feel one of the big things that actually, in regards to this, on a serious note, I feel like one
weren't being serious?
advantage to
I didn't agree to that, just real quick.
Peter Parker is he does have 3 potential love interests with Black Cat, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane.
Carly
that
Cooper.
Are
I liked it
with Black Cat,
Carly
Mary
Cooper.
Jane, and- We're not kidding. Anyway, the point
He
is,
doesn't know who it is.
the point, I very vaguely remember the name,
pops
but I
up
can't.
randomly, yeah.
He even had a thing with Mockingbird for a little there. But the point that I'm trying to make is, because you do have all these different people, it gives you a lot more potential stories for the writers to go for, as well as add extra dynamics. Whereas like Superman, mostly Lois, we had Wonder Woman for a little period of time. Like Batman, Catwoman.
Generally, yeah.
Like most of them have one person. And I feel like if Spider-Man did truly have just Mary Jane, I would completely respect and understand that question. But because he does have multiple people, allowing your fans to ship a certain couple increases the popularity of those extra characters, as well as gets their name out there, because I'm sure a couple of those would not be known if they were not love interests of Spider-Man. Plus, I feel like Spider-Man fits better with Black Cat.
I do think he fits better with Black Cat. I'm a fan of the Black Cat Spider-Man relationship. I
Night
like
Spider.
MJ, but and I said this in the video I had where why can't they be together? I feel like the problem with MJ is every time they significantly get them together ever since the 90s, they always feel like they have to give MJ more than being the trophy wife.
Yeah.
So now she has the jackpot thing, or now she's a spy, or now she's working with Mysterio.
Is she a
or
spy?
there was a brief thing she was like doing, like she's practically a spy half the time anyway, where she's just, I'm actually secretly working with Tony Stark right now.
Also, we're making a movie about Mysterio.
Yeah.
You're
He's
the
the
villain,
director.
Peter.
I'm just saying, like, and I get the idea behind that because we don't want more of the women in the fridge situation where they're
Sure,
just
yeah,
the trophy
yeah,
wife,
yeah.
which is what MJ was in the 90s. Because if you look back to the whenever someone throws up a page of the 90s MJ, it's always like over sexually drawn. She's getting
Well,
out
it was
of bed.
just the 90s.
No, and I'm not arguing against it. Trust me, I like those pages, but I'm assuming they
It's
want.
awkward.
It's
Yeah.
not at all. Leave it alone.
The way you said it was really
Yeah.
awkward. Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah.
I think what it boils down to is they want her to be more than that. But by doing that, that's where they have problems getting them together. Because it's like, well, we want MJ to, because they did try to even move her out of the book into Iron Man for a little while.
Yep.
So,
And Tony was like, Pepper?
Yeah.
You're different. Redhead. Whatever.
I would have loved if he just called her Pepper
Yeah, the whole
It's
time.
MJ.
Every new like CEO or whatever is Pepper.
who's Tony with now?
Pepper.
Is she back?
No, I don't know.
I don't think
he's
think
he's
she's on her own.
currently Hellcat.
Nope, that ended.
Oh, that's right. That
No,
did
yeah,
end.
it was the Chris
so no one
Cantwell
right
run.
now.
Yeah, he's a free floating bachelor again.
Well, we got to wait till he has another midlife crisis, the third in the last 4 years, I think it was, and then we'll figure it out.
All right, next up we have.
We've had first midlife crisis. It's
time
about
for a
a
This will go in. Donovan G asks, after the current Zeb Wells run, where should Spider-Man go?
I don't know. It depends on where the Zeb Wells run ends. It's going to be awfully
I
difficult.
feel like it's going to end with him back with Mary Jane. Just like,
I don't know, honestly.
I don't know. I think if it ends with end with him being with Black Cat, because he made that really awkward comment when he's like,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they are
MJ
kind
is
of gay,
like my
a
sister
or something. Shit,
And
like
it,
that.
and
it's like
but
a
even-
sisterly
I just
love.
love that Black Cat goes, no, don't say that.
That's
That's
awkward.
creepy or something.
You
But
being weird
you
again,
slept with
Peter.
her, man.
and she's like my sister.
Hey, what? I said what I said.
it'll
Peter
end-
Parker's really into that stepsister.
This got awkward again. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, on to the next one. Honestly,
All right, I
though,
got it. Oh, no, here-
he'll end with him throwing his Spider-Man suit in a trash can and walking sad out of the
Here's
van.
what happens. He gives up being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. He's now
Cures
Man
himself,
Spider.
so he's now normal again.
Okay.
All right, and becomes the guy in the chair 4 miles.
You know, wouldn't be terrible. Basically turns him into Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond.
Can we also make him old and crotchety? Miles, get back here.
Yeah, for some reason he's aged up.
Yeah.
The Fall Guy with Tim's asks, do you think there's too many Spider people running around? Would you rather have Peter hang out with Miles instead of bringing a Spider-Boy? Yes. I get the idea that Miles should stand on his own and that he's Spider-Man on his own. I'm not saying call Miles Spider-Boy. I do think we should have just a team-up comic. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Like just have them-
Spider-Man.
I would say if you asked me
Spider-Mans?
this, I don't know how many years ago, I would say keep him with Miles. At this point, Spider-Boy. Miles has done too much.
Yeah,
and
Miles is his
grown
own
too
hero
Well, that's what I'm
now,
saying.
yeah.
Just have two set. Like, it'd be like the Scarlet Spiders book, where it was like 3 Scarlet Spiders running around. Like that. That's what I'm more envisioning. I'm not envisioning
You're
a sidekick
You're
situation.
thinking more of a Spider-Man Incorporated.
Well, that was basically what the Parker industry
I don't
was.
care.
Yeah.
Rename it.
Pretty sure that's trademarked.
If you were lost it.
There's the best Spider-Man.
He's when I mentioned
SpiderBoy.
SpiderBoy, he thought I was talking about SpiderBoy, which is the Superboy
Oh, yeah.
and Spider-Man combo that was in the amalgam.
which was better than-
He's in the end of the Spider-Verse.
Is he?
Did I miss him?
Arm is.
Oh, his arm. I was like, no one owns the rights to him. That's the
That's
whole
the
argument.
problem. Yeah. Moreland rips off his arm apparently. And
just-
uses it. Yeah.
That is
I was
amazing.
staring at it going, I swear I know that arm. And then I had to Google an image of Spider-Boy from Amalgam. And it's
If we were
Spider-Boy's
Wait
arm.
a second. I know that arm.
He's a very distinct 90s gloves. That's
Yeah.
why.
If we were planning the Tom Holland films, what would we do with Tom Holland's next trilogy? For example, would we have Miles Morales introduced, or by the end of the trilogy, Peter sacrifices himself and Miles becomes the main? I wouldn't go that far.
I
with
wouldn't
it.
go Miles now.
No. I would actually just take him onto a more traditional Spider-Man route now because they've proven they don't need to.
I would introduce Gwen Stacy
Yeah.
because MJ's kind of and
Well, she's not even Mary Jane.
well, yeah, no, it's
Mary something.
Michelle.
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 It's
Michelle
Michelle.
Jones.
Yeah. But his old crew no longer remember him anymore, and instead of doing a trilogy where he's trying to get them to remember him, I think you should introduce Gwen Stacy and some classic Spider-Man villains.
That's what I'm saying. Do a
Yeah.
classic Spider-Man
Yeah.
direction, like the Gwen Stacy. Maybe even
Maybe Norman Osborn of that universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We start going into stuff we recognize because I really like
Yeah.
what they did with Tom Holland, not feeling like Spider-Man to an extent.
But now they need to make him feel like
exactly.
Spider-Man.
Like we had Tony Stark Mini, we had a whole arc with that. We had all this stuff happening, and I liked it. I thought it was good. But I'm prepared for Spider-Man again.
I want to see the MCU version of those characters.
Yeah. Because all we got was just Vulture, right? That was the only MCU.
That was the only MCU one, yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's with
I mean,
Morbius.
Mysterio.
Yeah, we got Mysterio. That's
got
true.
Mysterio.
Yeah, we
Oh
got
yeah,
Mysterio.
they did do Mysterio. First time we did that. Okay.
But
I-
I would like to see like the MCU version of like Doc Ock, Green
Yeah.
Goblin.
Yeah.
You know,
More classics. Craven.
Yeah.
I
Craven
would-
would be cool.
Yeah.
Although
I-
he's got a movie apparently for some weird reason.
For some weird reason.
What if Craven and Morbius show up and fight him?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because, I mean, their movies are probably terrible. I haven't seen Craven yet, but I know Morbius is.
It's
but
not good. No.
imagine Jared Leto, like, fighting
I'd
against-
rather not. If I'm being honest. Not sure
we
why
just
that
swap
dude
him
keeps
out.
getting work.
You know, it's a shame that they do have everyone forget him because it would have been kind of cool to see a both superior Spider-Man as well as if he had inherited Stark Industries and we got a Parker Industries
Yeah.
in the MCU. I think those would both be fun too.
But I think they could do a lot of fun, like, remixes of, like, the classic
Yeah.
Spider-Man idea now that he's technically actually just Spider-Man in
He's
the
reset,
MCU.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's reset. So you
I mean,
could
just
a
do
lot
Green
of-
Goblin, do Doc Ock. We still got Vulture and Mysterio. And you could move to an actual Sinister Six movie.
True.
That would break the internet. I mean, Spider-Man did.
I think
Imagine
they
all the
should-
villains.
They should bring in some
Black Cat.
random. Black Cat would be awesome.
I
We
would
haven't
love
seen
that.
Black Cat. Yeah, that would be great.
I think I would honestly prefer them to bring in Black Cat than Gwen Stacy or
you do them
a
both, and
traditional
you can do
MJ.
kind of like, you've got like the police captain's daughter, but you've also got the thief. You got
That could
you
be good,
you
yeah.
can do-
Yeah.
So you don't do another Mary Jane thing. You
Yeah.
just
At the
do
end of the trilogy,
other
he's
things.
introduced to a redhead. That's just where it,
who has the exact same initials, and he's like, "Can I call you MJ?"
She's like, no.
No, that's stupid. Why would
Mary.
you- yeah, it's
it's Mary.
damn it.
All right. That is all the questions that I want to pull up today.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I get
You
it.
know what?
But if you want to get involved in the next question we're going to be doing, go to our Twitter @ComicStorian because we're gonna keep doing this. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to come up with these. It's
It is.
a very enjoyable time. What? No, it's fun.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
We're gonna have words after that camera's off.
Is it gonna be fun?
All right, guys. Don't forget to check out the rest of Absolute Comics, the channel over here, and don't forget to join us over on Twitter. Dan, what was our sponsors today?
It was Gamer Subs. Use code COMICS at checkout, and Into the AM use absolutely at checkout.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time right here at Comics Experiment.